have a special guest with me again, my daughter Vivian, and we are going to be talking about junior mock auditions. These are auditions that take place during a student's junior year, and it's sort of to give them a feel for what college auditions will be like during their senior year. So I wanted to have Vivian on to sort of talk about her experience. First, we'll sort of explain a little more clearly what they are. What type of student do you think that these auditions are for? Are they for kids who are just having a casual interest in musical theater, or are they for a more serious student?
Definitely only for those who are planning to go to Unifieds and get a BFA in theater or musical theater.
So Unifieds, in case you don't know, are...
Sorry, I'm using the lingo.
Those are auditions that take place in LA, New York, and Chicago, usually around January or February, and they are a way for college students to be able to audition for a variety of schools all in one location. It's basically to help cut down on the travel expense of going and auditioning for 20 different schools. You can understand that would be a lot of pressure. I think part of the reason that they started having junior auditions like this is to cut down on the pressure.
Yeah, you get a feel what it might be like before you actually have to do it and your future is riding on it.
So there's a few different organizations that hold these types of auditions. The most famous one is called Moonifieds Junior, and those are held in Texas. And the one we attended was with College Audition Project, and it was CAP Prep, and that was held in Atlanta. Last year was their first year. So it was kind of cool to be a part of something during its inaugural year. So to get ready to go to these mock auditions, you're going to have to do some preparation. I think each organization might have different things that they want you to prepare, but generally it's going to be a monologue or two and a song or two, and it'll tell you how many bars. So what did you do to prepare for your junior auditions?
I ummed over you. For my mock auditions that I went to, we needed one 60-second monologue and two contrasting 16-bar cuts. The first step was obviously picking what material I wanted to use, and then once I had decided on that, I went into, I brought those cuts to my voice teacher and we went over those and we, tweaked around and stuff. And then I worked on the monologue by myself. So I went through and, broke down what I was trying to do, my objective, if you want to use technical terms. I just went through and made sure that I fully understood what I was trying to accomplish with the monologue.
So if your child is getting ready to attend mock auditions of some sort, you can take a look at either of my videos on selecting audition music or preparing monologues. I have videos about both of those. I'll leave them linked down below. So what do you feel like you got out of going to mock auditions?
It was lovely. I mean, the biggest thing is, of course, I sort of know what to expect in a unified style audition, where you go in and you do all your material and you sit back down. And then I also got feedback at the end of my mock audition from the judges that watched me, and that was some great advice. I think the biggest one was that I was wearing jeans and a t-shirt.
It would have been a good outfit for community theater audition.
Yeah, but we know now that we need to step it up a little bit for Unifieds next year.
So I was going to ask what you might do differently. So we know the outfit would be one thing. Mm-hmm. Was there anything else that you might do differently?
Well, I picked a monologue and then I decided I didn't like it. So then right before I chose a different monologue, and that monologue was overdone, which I sort of knew going into, and then the judges also told me that it was a little bit overdone. So I will pick a different monologue for next time.
Yeah, I think the key is making sure you find material that you are really comfortable with and that you feel like really speaks to you, and you kind of find a commonality. And we were sort of down to the wire and just kind of randomly picked something to pick it, which is not great. So that's part of why when I'm talking about getting ready for senior year, I talk about making sure you read lots of plays. So we're going to be doing that this summer going into next year, so that hopefully by the time January rolls around, we will have found the perfect monologue or two or three and have those ready to go, and they won't be overdone, and you won't want to dump them at the last minute because you don't love it.
So you know it's bad if you're like, I would rather be stressed and have 1 minute to remember this other one because I hate this one so much.
Do you think there are any cons or drawbacks to going to junior or mock auditions?
I don't know. If you think it'll stress you out more, maybe. For me, it was quite the opposite, and I think it really helped me be less stressed. But if the thought of doing something like that your junior year sounds awful to you, then probably don't go.
And then from a parent's perspective, one drawback might be financials. So there's some travel expense involved. We were lucky we could drive to Atlanta. We didn't have to pay for a plane ticket, and they had sort of a discount for the hotel associated with the mock auditions. So as long as you got in pretty early, you were able to be a part of the block and stay there. So that made it convenient, and it was fairly affordable. Most places you have to be working with a coach to be able to take part in these auditions. So there's another expense, but we found the ones that Vivian participated in, College Audition Project, to be fairly affordable. That's part of why we chose them. Plus they have good reviews. So there's some research involved in that as well. If the expense is sort of an issue for your family, there are some places that you can get the same kind of feel for what the college audition process will feel like for less money. In North Carolina, the North Carolina Theater Conference has a college discovery day. And with that, they have representatives from colleges all over North Carolina, and I think even a few from South Carolina, take part. And students can kind of get the same sort of feel of auditioning in front of a room full of people at the same time.
And doing your material back to back.
And they gave you feedback as well.
The biggest difference was like going to somewhere you're not familiar with and staying in a hotel and like being there for like long days and long hours. But the actual isolated audition is quite similar.
So aside from getting the feeling of auditioning in front of a panel and getting feedback, were there any other pros that you can think of to the process?
A big one is that the CAP prep auditions were actually happening at the same time as the CAP Unifieds.
So a lot of different coaching companies have their own unified auditions, and these take place generally in November so that their students get good experience auditioning and can get some feedback before they start the actual audition process. It's slightly lower stakes than Unifieds, but there are still offers extended during these mock auditions, and the information that they get from these auditions is also still considered during their application process.
And so getting to see all of those seniors and their whole experience of what they were going through with their college auditions for real was interesting to see. The outfits that they were wearing.
For sure. The outfits, I think, was the great thing. We were able to sort of like see, that was our first indication, even before she got feedback on her outfit. That
seeing what all of them were wearing. And I was like, that's probably what I should be doing.
And that's another thing too. The coaches there, even for their seniors, I know a lot of them they care so much, the coaches, about their students. They had some people come show their outfits the night before, and they were out driving to Target or department stores helping them change their outfits. And the coaches really care about the students and want them to have a good experience and come away feeling good about what they did during the weekend. So is there anything else that we haven't mentioned yet that we got out of the experience that you can think of?
I think the experience of staying in a hotel and doing the whole thing was really valuable.
We learned the logistics involved, and also giving you a chance to navigate by yourself a little bit, because it was sort of a safe, the whole hotel was pretty much all
CAP people.
And so just having her look at the map and figure out where she needed to be and get herself there. I still sort of tagged around a little bit and was waiting at the room when she came out, but I just wanted her to get the feel for that so that next year she can handle doing a little bit of it by herself as she feels comfortable. But we learned the big thing with unified type auditions is the elevator situation. There's a lot of people going back and forth between their rooms and the audition rooms, and a lot of people all going at the same time. And so you might have to wait maybe 5 minutes sometimes for the elevator. And a lot of hotels have it where you can go down the stairs, obviously for fire safety reasons, but they have it locked so you can't go back up to your room using the stairs. So you need to sort of take that into consideration when you're leaving your room to head down. Give yourself plenty of time. And we actually, for Chicago, are trying to stay at a hotel where we have club level access so we can use our key card. This is a secret I feel like I should not be sharing, but you're welcome. So for Chicago Unifieds, we're going to be staying on the club level so that only the people that are staying on that particular level can use that particular elevator. So there's a specific elevator just for the people on the club level, and I've heard that that helps quite a bit.
And then I think generally just like living out of the hotel room and like needing to change outfits and like, oh, well, I have this dance thing and I'm in jeans right now, so I need to run up to my hotel room and change, and like that whole kind of thing is also good to get a little bit of practice in.
Yeah, so just sort of practicing the logistics and understanding timing, and I think at some point we had to bring our wardrobe with us.
Yeah, I put my jeans on over my tights and leotard.
So overall, we would say it's a good experience if you're able to afford it, and if for some reason it's not going to work for you financially, look around for things in your area that are similar. There's also some universities, I think, that hold something similar. So there's lots of different ways that you can try and get a feel for what the unified process is going to be like and not break the bank. All right, thank you so much for being here, and thank you again for watching. If you like this video, please give it a subscribe. I'm working so hard to get to 100 subscribers. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.